Hello, and in our textbook on page 86, 9C, we are doing outlaws today. What does outlaw mean? Well, it is someone who lives outside of the law. It is somebody who doesn't respect the law or is excluded from legal protection. So who represents the law? Well, if we think about it, it's actually the police. They represent the law. All right, so let's have a look at the pictures. Do you recognize who this is? Well, it's Robin Hood. There are four photos of Robin Hood from different eras. The first one is from the 2010 Robin Hood movie with Russell Crowe. The next one is a very old movie from 1938. It's called The Adventures of Robin Hood. The black and white photo is a photo of Robin Hood, and it's probably a silent movie. And the final photo is a movie about Robin Hood from 1991 with Kevin Costner. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Maybe you've seen one of these movies. If not, maybe you've read about Robin Hood. In short, Robin Hood, he was an outlaw who lived in England a long time ago, and there are many, many legends about him. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. And now, exercise 2, we read through the text, the legend of Robin Hood. Robin Hood is one of the most popular and interesting figures in English folklore, and his story is quite well known across the world. There have been several films made about him, including 3 in Hollywood. But who was he, and did he actually exist? In the 13th century, the story goes, there was a brave young man in Nottingham who fought against injustice with his band of outlaws. At that time, King Richard and his army were fighting in foreign lands. John was a mean and cruel ruler, and so was his friend, the terrible. In the legend, Robin Hood was angry at the injustice and decided to fight against it. He and his band of outlaws lived in Sherwood Forest, an enormous wood near Nottingham that belonged to the king. They hunted the king's deer for food. The forest was considered a dangerous place, but to Robin and his band it was a place of safety away from the sheriff's men. There is some evidence that a man called Robin Hood actually lived during the 13th century, but it is unlikely that he was quite such a good man. Today, Sherwood Forest is a tourist attraction. Nearly 1 million people every year go to the visitor centre there to learn about Britain's most famous outlaw. And even if he wasn't quite such a great man, it's a great story. Let's look at exercise number 2. It says ignore the gaps and find. So number 1, the century in which Robin Hood probably lived was the 13th century. Number 2, the name of the king at that time was King Richard. And number 3, the name of the forest where Robin Hood lived. It's a very famous forest, and it's called Sherwood Forest. Number 3, read the text again and match sentences A to E with gaps 1 to 4. There is one sentence that you do not need. All right, well, let's see. A, Richard's brother John ruled England while he was away. That's 2A. B, but it is the heroic figure in the legend that we remember. That is 4B. 4B. C, However, he was also a great fighter. This does not exist. D. In fact, stories about the adventures of Robin Hood have existed for over 600 years. This is 1D. And E. They also robbed rich people who were travelling through the forest and gave the money to poor people. This is 3E. Number 4, vocabulary. Match the highlighted words in the text with the definitions below. Number 1, a very large group of soldiers. Army. Number 2, facts that show that something is true. Evidence. Number 3, fought to do something, had great difficulty doing something. Struggled. Number 4, a person who leads a country and has power is a ruler. Number 5, people who have committed crimes and are hiding. Outlaws. Number 6, something that is very unfair or wrong. Injustice. Number 5, read the exam strategy. Listen to 3 people talking about whether it is ever okay to steal, and then decide if the sentences are true or false. So when completing a true-false listening task, before listening to the text, read the questions to find out what information you need. Listen to the text very carefully. Sometimes one word or expression can be the answer. Alright, so listen to your CD. You have 3 people talking, and then do the true and false sentences. So number 1, Kevin thinks it's okay to steal in some circumstances. This is true. Number 2, Kevin thinks it's better to steal from a shop than a big organization. This is false. Number 3, Jill's friend thinks it's okay to steal. This is false. Number 4, Jill thinks it's never okay to steal. This is true. Number 5, a shop assistant once gave Andy the wrong change. This is true. And number 6, Andy feels bad about underpaying in the restaurant. This is false. He actually doesn't feel bad at all. And now in our workbook on page 82, 9C, Outlaws, we do exercise 1. Exercise 1, complete the text about Robin Hood with the words in the box: army, evidence, injustice, outlaws, ruler, struggled. And that's all for now. Bye-bye.